First one on the burner, obviously Dame Lillard. He's gone at this point. The Trailblazers just like a dumpster fire. But Buzzsaw, I know you got a few
Oh, this is my
juicers.
time to shine, baby.
I know you
I'm
got a
so
few Dame
excited.
juicers. Let's hear them.
Oh man, I did some. I put some hours into
You
this.
went into the trade machine.
I went into the trade machine,
I will
baby.
say this too. That it's hard to like make
Dude, it
trades in that
is.
trade machine.
I spent
It's
fucking an
hard.
hour
Oh yeah,
trying to
the
figure
money,
out.
the
With the
financial
cap.
part of it sucks, dick. I didn't
Dude,
even
I
understand
spent
that.
an hour trying to figure out a trade that works that teams that they would actually do with the Heat. So I got two. I got Dame to the Heat and Dame to Philly. So those are the two. They're both three. I think they're both 3-team trades. One might be 4. No, they're both 3. All right. We'll go through the Heat one first. So this is a 3-team trade between the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors, and the Trailblazers. So the Warriors are facilitating this move. I almost did Boston, but I just couldn't assume. I couldn't see Boston facilitating Dame to the Heat. I can't see them doing that. That's their rival in the conference. They're not going to help them get Dame. So I went with the Warriors. All the Warriors are doing, Warriors are getting Yusuf Nurkic. They need a big man. This helps them out. They're still in win now mode, obviously. They just got Draymond. They're picking up Nurkic. They're going to send out Gary Payton, Moses Moody, and some random guy named Brandon Podziemisk.
That's the guy they just drafted at 19.
Okay, they're sending him out to Portland. Or maybe someone else. It doesn't really matter. I just needed someone to fill out like 2 more million, so we can swap that, whatever. So basically, they're sending out Gary Payton, Moses Moody, and a salary filler to the Trailblazers. Heat are getting Dame and Nico Mannion. We had to figure out someone, a little salary cap filler there. So they're just getting Dame and Nico Mannion. Miami is sending Portland Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jazang, or whatever his name is, Jazang, the guy from UCLA, their first-round draft pick.
Johnny.
Jovic, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 2 first pick swaps. So in total, Portland gets Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Gary Payton, Moses Moody, Nikolai Jovic, salary filler from Golden State. They get 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 first pick swaps. Golden State gets their center in Nurkic because they still need a big. Their tallest guy is fucking Kuminga. They need someone to run pick and roll with CP. They trade off their other young assets. They get Nurkic, who, if he's healthy, is a 15 and 10 guy. Portland gets Dame. And Portland still has the Martin brother. They still have Bam and Jimmy, obviously. They actually keep Kyle Lowry in this deal, too. And they've got, developmental players after that.
What happened to James Wiseman? I'm just curious. Was he on the Warriors?
They sent him to the Pistons for 5 second-round picks.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Well, then they traded all 5 of those for Gary Payton.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think if any team was to say no in that, it would be Golden State. Because I don't think Nurkic provides them size, which they definitely need.
Nurkic is really good. I mean, he's good when he's healthy.
He's a good offensive center for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 7 foot 250 guy. So I mean, he's not like the rim protector, but he's a presence at least down low, kind of like Jokic is.
Yeah.
And all they're sending out Gary Payton and Moses Moody, and then some $2 million crap ball off their bench.
Yeah, and the salary filler. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it for Golden State. I think Golden State actually may value Gary Payton. They traded 5 second-round picks for him.
Yeah,
as that kind of defensive guy off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And for Portland, how many picks do they get?
They get 2 firsts and 2 pick swaps. But I mean, they pick up Hero, Robinson, Jazang, Gary Payton, Moses Moody, and Jovic. So that's 6 young players.
You're getting Jazang, and who's a rookie. You're getting Moody, who may have some upside still in all those picks.
Jovic, who we don't know about, Hero, 20-point-a-game score. They're getting 6 young players, and then 2 first, 2 pick swaps. And those picks are a 28 first unprotected and a 20-30 unprotected from Miami. So those are probably going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, those 3-team trades. Yeah, those 3-team trades, you always wonder because some team in there, there's always a big loser in a 3-team trade, but you always have to look at it as a situational thing. So I kind of like the Nurkic in there because I don't really think there is truly anyone they could get in other 3-team trades, which you're probably going to go over here in a little bit. I don't really think there's another big that would be better than Nurkic
Yeah.
and would actually be worth like the Warriors saying, all right, yes, like we're giving away Moses Moody in this, but honestly, they may think they're a big man away from being a complete team. And
I think
mean,
they do.
Nurkic,
I think they
yeah,
are. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, Nurkic, if he's healthy, I mean, he's not necessarily like a dominator in the paint on defense, but he's a good offensive player, and that is just
he's
another
a 15 and 10 guy. He's a good
exactly.
player.
Good boards. Yeah, he's not a bad player, and he's probably, in terms of the teams looking at doing 3-team trades, probably one of the better options to get back. So I kind of like throwing in Nurkic. Yeah,
that was the hard thing for me because I had to figure out either a way to trade Lowry to a team that needs a point guard, which is why Boston came up. But Boston's not going to facilitate a trade for Dame to Miami. They're not.
Yeah.
But
someone always
Warriors have no
short
stake.
end.
Warriors have no stake in the Eastern Conference, and a team that needs a starting center. And I was like, okay, well, we can do Golden State. That's their one need.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trading. I mean, Moody's been completely underwhelming since they drafted him. He's had a couple of moments, but and I mean, they do value Gary Payton, but max Gary Payton's giving you 20 minutes a game, 8 points, and good defense. Like, I think the value. I think you can talk yourself into like, okay, we can get 16 and 12 out of Nurkic when he's healthy. On top of everything else around him, we're going to be almost unstoppable offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would push the needle for them. And I think the package for Portland, you get those 6 young players.
Which is what they need. Yeah.
And then because obviously you can then swap those players. I think you move Tyler Hero after that. You get 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and then 2 first pick swaps. I think that's a pretty good haul.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Portland, too, everyone's saying, like, why would they want Tyler Hero? Because they already have the, inflation of guards already there. But, yeah, then again, Tyler Hero or Simmons or Shady and Sharp.
Pretty cold.
Like, obviously, all of these guys aren't going to be a part of your future plans, but you're going to swap. You're going to eventually – one of those guys is going to step up. One's not. Then you're going to end up swapping them for more future assets to get.
Well, and that's the nice thing. Robinson and Hero, they're very tradable contracts. It's 18 and 27 million. So if you want to bring someone
and Hero's still what, like 24 years old?
Yeah, he's like 25. Okay, real quick. All this Shade and Sharp talk. Who is this guy actually that good? Because I hear everyone have such a good young core. They can build around this Shade and Sharp guy. Like, is he really anything? Like, he averaged 9 points a game last year as a rookie, which is
his upside. So he didn't have crazy numbers last year, but there were moments where he kind of showed when Dame would be hurt every now and then or get a rest because they're kind of shit. And, at the end of the year, Dame didn't really play that much. So he had some moments where he was looking really fucking scary because what makes him so dangerous is he is a 6'8" guard almost, which if you talk about Tyler Hero, you could easily slide that big motherfucker over to small forward and you have a 6'8" guard playing forward. And he is ridiculously athletic. I mean, he can shoot the ball. He's just not super consistent. And he didn't even play college basketball. I mean, he was committed to Kentucky, was hurt the whole time. So there is a lot of upside. And I think what he has shown as a young player, even though it's nothing crazy, he could be absolutely terrifying if you give him starter minutes, which is what they're going to be looking at now. But I think if this is your core that you're developing and building up and you would eventually pay Tyler Hero after the trade you're talking about, Scoot Henderson, Tyler Hero, Shade and Sharp. If those 3 guys, I mean, Scoot and Tyler Hero are probably the more for sure going to have great careers. But if Shade and Sharp turns out to be as good as like everyone's talking about and how good he has shown, like in terms of the upside, holy fuck. I mean, that's kind of scary.
And then you have the tradable guards in Duncan Robinson, Gary Payton, and Moses Moody. You don't think Boston would come knocking on their door for Gary Payton? Like,
exactly. Like once those 3 develop.
Yeah. You have a massive guard influx, which then you swap at the deadline for pieces. So, okay, I got to go real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All good. But do you
have any Dame trades?
So I didn't do any of the big trade machine ones. I just thought one sneaky destination that y'all talked about too. I mean, I kind of wrote it down as well. I really like the idea of him going to Toronto again because, we kind of talked about it earlier. They really are just one piece away from an alpha away from being a top tier team in the East. And so with that being said, I think them kind of being a sneaky player in the Dame field could be interesting. But once again, I don't know if that would work out because that kind of puts Dame in this situation again to where, yes, I think the Raptors are a very good, potentially contending team. But then you could also, if they're not, and shit hits the fan with the group that they have right now, that could be something that's shitty. And I also don't think Dame wants to go to a first-year coach situation either. I think he really wants to go somewhere that is basically he knows what he's going to get out of his entire coaching staff, what's expected of him, and there really isn't a better place to go in terms of go to Miami. And having Dame Lillard and Jimmy Butler in playoff time is pretty terrifying in my opinion. Yeah. So that would be, and if Bam Adebayo is your third player in the playoffs on those guys, if he needs to get better offensively. But I mean, he dribbles that shit up the court. That would be a very fucking scary team. And then also just because of the assets and if they wanted to blow things up and, because of the contract that is available, if for some reason that the T-Wolves were interested, I could see it because they just invested in Ant and, they also have Cat locked in. So if they could somehow get rid of Gobert and make some picks and just kind of throw in a haul, they would have to be like a 3-team trade, I think, to make that work for them. But I think there's some sneaky teams that are on the verge of contending that may intrigue Dame. But I think it comes down to Dame is wanting to go somewhere where he knows what he's going to get. And he's not going to get a better coach situation. And he's not looking to be with the first-year head coach his first season there. I think Dame is trying to stay away from a whole lot of noise from wherever he goes if possible. He's kind of used to that, and that's kind of what he's been thriving off of, honestly. Obviously, he's going to get it from wherever he goes now, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what teams kind of throw in here if the Heat can't do something, because it totally changes what I think Dame's thinking in terms of where he wants to go, because not many people have the sort of organizational structure the Heat can offer Dame from where he's coming from, organizationally structured before. So total polar opposite. So that's why, other than this Heat, it's really interesting to see what organization really sticks out to him.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Toronto would be a sneaky move too. I don't think Dame ends up there because I think ultimately, like the loyalty he showed to the Blazers, they're going to ultimately send him where he wants to go. But yeah, with the Toronto thing, my one trade that I liked was with the Raptors, and it was Dame for OG, Chris Boucher, Otto Porter for filler, then 3 first-round picks. And like we saw with Toronto, I mean, they go and get Dame in there. I think that team could be a real contender. If you have Dame, Siakam, Scotty Barnes, Hurdle.
What's Toronto giving up?
OG, Chris Boucher. I don't know how do you say his last name? Boucher?
Boucher. I think it's Boucher.
Like Bobby Boucher. Yeah, yes. Boucher, then Otto Porter to salary fill it with 3 or 4 first-round picks, however you want to do that. But I don't think that'll happen, but I think that would be a fun trade idea to see Dame on there. Toronto's the first-year head coach, like you said, could be a problem, but Toronto, I feel like it's kind of like a Blazers organization. They're very loyal to their players. Everyone seems to like the culture.
Yeah. But the Raptors do have more of a winning culture as of late, not as a whole franchise, but of late. They're kind of known as, like with Usai Mejri as the GM there. They're kind of known as a great organization. So that's also where I think, depending on what happens with the Heat, Dame is really going to want to go somewhere where he is going to have upper level, top tier management, coaching, and teammates that want to win, not just what could be. He's going to want almost for sure wherever he's going, I think.
Yeah, if I'm Portland and Toronto's calling me, I'm
interested.
I'm getting Scotty Barnes. I'm saying you got to give me Scotty Barnes, which is no deal. Kind of like how that's like they're saying with Philly, like it's got to be Maxey or nothing. I'm like, you got to give me Scotty Barnes. Which, I mean, I could see Toronto talking themselves into, like, Scotty Barnes wouldn't fit their timeline if they got Dame, OG, Pascal, Pirtle, Gary Trent fits their timeline better. And if I'm Portland, I'm like, you give me Scotty Barnes, 2 first-round picks, done deal. Boom. I think that could be the making of a fucking hell of a team in Portland.
Yeah. Do we got you?
You can still swap Nurkic and Jeremy Grant.
I kind of fucking forgot.
Jeremy Grant's going to be hard, but after that,
I kind of forgot it. I kind of forgot about Anthony Simmons or Simons. Honestly, he is fucking good too. So I mean, even
dude,
making that mega trade. I was referring to the mega trade.
They would have made the deal by now if they want team involved, because they're not going to do it. They don't want Tyler Hero to be the best. So
yeah, I think Raptors are a little sneaky little. That
Can
Dame's
y'all
looking
hear
for
me?
now.
yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, it keeps lagging out.
Oh shit. Oh, there you go. You're
There
back.
you go.
Okay. Jesus Christ, it's lagging out bad.
No, he lagged out again.
Okay. Well, be on Dame. Be on Dame. Let's touch on James Harden.
Hold on.
Do you have one more? Do you have one more?
Mm-hmm.
I got my Sixers trade, baby.
Okay, let's hear it.
This has James Harden. And I'm prefacing this. If I'm Philadelphia and I'm in the position right now, I'm going to figure out a way to make a 3-team deal between the Clippers, the Sixers, and the Trailblazers, with James Harden being the centerpiece of my package. Like I'm going to do everything in my power, because if I'm sending Harden out, I don't need to send Maxey out. Like the gap, I mean, Dame is better than Harden. The gap is not that big. Like I don't need to trade Harden for pieces and then trade Maxey for Dame. If I'm Daryl Morey, I'm sitting down, I'm like, I'm fucking figuring this out. I can trade Dame, get LA to send assets to Portland, and we can make the deal that way. So this is the deal I came up with. Sixers are sending out Tobias Harris. They're sending out, they only have 1 first-round pick to trade. They're sending out Tobias Harris, 1 first-round pick, 4 second-round picks, and 4 first-round pick swaps. Actually, oh no, I'm sorry. They're sending Harden too. Never mind. So they're sending Tobias, Harden, a first, 4 seconds, 2 first-round pick swaps. Harden is going to the Clippers. Everything else is going to Portland. So Tobias, a first, 3 seconds, and 2 first-round pick swaps are going to Portland. Clippers are getting Harden and Jusuf Nurkic, and then Man and Bones Highland and a 2028 first-round pick. Also, they're sending Portland Marcus Morris, and they're getting back Harden and Nurkic to go with Kawhi, CP, and all their other pieces or whatever. So Portland in total gets Tobias Harris, Norman Powell, Zubac, Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, a first-round pick in 2028 from Clippers, first-round pick from Philly in 2029, and then 4 seconds and 2 first pick swaps. Philly's getting Dame, Marcus Morris, and Ben McLemore. Clippers are getting Harden and Nurkic. What do you think?
I just think Portland's going to want more picks.
Well, I feel like if Portland's getting Tobias and Norman Powell, I feel like you can flip that into 3 more firsts. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get a lot.
Yeah.
Tobias is on an expiring contract. Norman Powell's a good player.
I just think Tobias is tough though, because you're going to have to match that 40 mil he's making with another team, and there's really not that many avenues to be able to flip him.
Yeah. But I mean, there's already teams calling Philly about Tobias. I mean, Cleveland's calling about him. You could make a deal with Cleveland. You could do Jarrett Allen. You could do a couple first-round picks. And that's how I preface this. Was like, if you're Portland, this isn't the last move, but you're doing this because you get. Actually, I have 3 first-round picks. LA is sending out 2 unprotected first-round picks, 2028 and 2030. So they're getting 3 unprotected firsts, and they're getting 2 first pick swaps.
Okay.
And that the Clippers picks
players.
The Clippers picks kind of become enticing in case they aren't able to do something very competitive soon, because they may blow the whole fucking
regardless. Dude, they're 2028 and 2030.
They may blow
the next 2 years. They're going to suck dick by then. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, they would. If shit doesn't happen, they're gonna blow it the fuck up, because they have to, because there's so much money invested. You just have to blow it up and try and get your money back, basically, in a way. So, I mean, I like it because of the fits and the needs. It's definitely would be one of the more higher. I mean, this Dame trade would obviously be one of the bigger blockbuster trades in NBA history, obviously, first off. But this would definitely be one of the higher, like, I would say, caliber player trades you'll see, because you're getting 3 for sure. Maybe, I mean, Norman Powell, I would say, is a starter in this league. So, I mean, you're getting 4 starters
Zubac.
in that trade.
I mean, Zubac.
Yeah, 5. You're getting honestly, you could build a team off of the guys you're trading away if you just wanted to make a team off of those guys alone. So, I mean, I like it because there's definitely value in the players. I think it just ultimately comes down to what the Sixers want to do, because I think there's this weird still part of the Sixers, even though obviously they've shown they want to win now more. There's still this like looming cloud of like the trust the process bullshit they had for a while. And I think that's kind of still in the building a little bit to this day for some reason. And
100%.
I think until I think getting a Dame is really going to be the fuck the process. The process is over. We're going to win fucking now.
If they get Dame, it's the end all be all. There is no more moves. If it fucks up with Dame, the process is done.
Done. Yeah.
Gone. Dame's
over.
Gone. And I heard, and like I think Philly could make a deal around Maxey and just you don't need a third team.
Say
around Maxey. And I think if it comes to Philly, that's what's going to end up happening, because I think Philly's looking at it like Embiid turns 30 this year. Embiid is a 7-foot, almost 280-pound big man who
with
gets
an injury history.
He has about 3 more years left before he goes like Phoenix Shaq mode. Like really, like he's got about 3 years and then he's probably cooked. So like Maxey's great, and then I would be trying to keep Maxey, but you could convince yourself like our Embiid window is probably 2 more seasons.
Yeah, like fuck the process
now, and we got to win now, because once Embiid turns 33, I mean his body's gonna break down. His body's already broken down so much, so I could see them convincing themselves of that.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next point too. Was that the big guys in the NBA they do not last as long as other positions in the league. So I get that you want to keep Maxey, but at the same time, that kind of sticks with the trust the process idea. And it's like, kind of fuck that. Like, y'all need to win now. Like, you're going to lose what is an MVP caliber player playing alongside Dame just so you can develop Maxey, which, yeah, it'd be great to keep him. But if you can get Dame and give away Maxey and somehow get rid of that fucking Tobias Harris contract, I think that's a win, and that's a total like, all right, fuck the process. We're over. We're winning right fucking now, and we're back in this shit. And then you can actually capitalize on the window. If it sucks in 3 years, Dame will be on the last. We'll have 1 more year left on his contract. Hopefully, he's still really fucking good by the time Embiid's, coming out of his prime. But I think they just kind of need to say, fuck the process. Let's go get it. If we need to give up Maxey, fuck it. Let's do it. Portland, they'll have the assets to make him great. But honestly, I think I would rather have Dame than Tyrese Maxey any day.
Well, and that's what I try to do with this trade. Because like if I'm already trading Harden, I'll just get Tobias out too, and I can keep Maxey. And they get Marcus Morris back, but whatever. But if I have Dame, Maxey, and Embiid, I'm set. And I feel like if you're trading Harden, I feel like you could facilitate a deal with Portland and LA.
Yeah.
Make a deal together. Honestly, with the trade I created, now looking at it, I think the Clippers would probably say no. I know they're getting Harden and Nurkic, but in total, the Clippers are giving up Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, Zubac, Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, and 2 unprotected future firsts. I don't know if that's worth Harden or Nurkic, but I could also see the Clippers convincing themselves like we fucked ourselves. We either dig out and we blow it up, or we fucking double down and go all in, which Steve Ballmer kind of seems like he wants to fucking do. So I think he
kind of seems like that
and doing it like that. And you also get Nurkic too, which I mean, with Paul George and Kawhi, your defense is going to be fine. You can afford to have a defensive liability at center. So
it's spicy, but I think I would probably if I were to do like an order of the top contenders, obviously for Dame, it would be the Heat. 2, I would have the Sixers. 3, I would have the Raptors. That would be my top 3 of like the teams to go after, honestly.
Boston's lurking.
Boston is lurking. I just wonder. And I guess they have picks still.
They'd have to trade Jaylen Brown.
It would have to be Jaylen Brown.
There's no way else to do it. You have to trade